Join us searching for sunstones out in the Rabbit Hills of Oregon, where gemmy, copper-filled feldspar can be found. Karen here with Ozone Fine Art Ventures. Welcome back to the channel. This burn came right up to the campground, and you can see that it was hot and fast. I mean, look at those trees. Sunstones, decorating the ground. I did finally break free of the truck. This wide open expanse seems like just glittering sand and gilded sage as far as the eyes can see. Although underneath these flats and undulating desert hills lies a hot, hot story of lava commingling with gems. Imagine basalt lava flowing all the way from the Steens Mountain, west to this location containing feldspar crystals inside. Those crystals cooled at a different rate as the basalt and thus shattered. This dynamic story was then covered by an ancient sea for a very, very long time. It's exciting to consider all those cone-shaped mountains in the distance being volcanoes, and what an incredible transformation this place has undergone.
We are here at the Sunstones, and I thought I'd go over some of the stuff that I'm taking. I'm just getting ready to go out there looking, and I've got a shirt, some UV protection if you need it, something to eat because I'm going to be out for a little while. A Ziploc bag is your best friend with the Sunstones because they're not very big. So you're not going to need to fill up a bag with material like you would with, thunder eggs or big agates or something like that. So a Ziploc bag is a good idea. I've got my I got my Gilmore because you guys don't want to see shaky footage the whole time. Gimbal, oh my gosh, whatever it is. This could be a nice tool. I'm not going to bring my pick, but I do like having a screwdriver because sometimes in the dirt, you can see a sunstone either in the basalt or just kind of wedged into the dirt. And unless you want to use your fingernails to get it up, it's kind of nice to have a little tool you can pull stuff out with. I wear glasses, so I need these. It's a dusty place, and so I'm going to probably have to wipe down my glasses a couple times. A hat so that you've got sun protection. Again, a bag so that I can put this stuff in it. Not necessarily for the rocks so much. The rocks will go in there too. And then some water because you know what? This is the desert, so you need water. And then I'm not going to go for very long, so I don't need a whole lot. So that's my checklist. And then we are. So there's a gazillion sunstones, and you might ask yourself, what am I looking for? There are a bunch of different ways that these sunstones look in the ground over there,
And so we're gonna kind of go through some of the things that you might see. As you know, you got to tune your eyes as you are hounding for anything. And that is definitely the case here. And we're not looking for a variety of things like on the beach. There's jaspers and shells that are fossilized and bones and things like that. This is all one thing, but it does take a lot of different looks to it. So I'm gonna check that out.
Here's some of the host basalt coming to the surface at some of the mines. The idea is to get the overburden of either empty basalt, or in this case, this is probably host basalt because you see so much of the sunstones right here on the surface. And so these guys just got free of this basalt, and this basalt is probably bearing more within it, and that's what the miners would be looking for when they are looking at an area. Okay, so we're here on the ground, and there's one. Now, I always pinch them because I'm looking for a certain thing. I need some height. A lot of times these things shard off like this guy here. Like I said, you know, they shatter. And so there's, you know, the beauty of them, but there's also okay, is that usable? I'm just not taking the stuff that's not usable. Okay, so here's a guy hiding, and it almost has a green look to it in the ground, right? Let me see if I can't get you. There's gonna be an ant. There you go. So I like these because a lot of times, yeah, that turned out to be pretty big, and there's some width to it. So for my purposes, since I'm looking for practice material for faceting, that's going to be a better candidate than something that's really skinny. Here's a guy sitting here. So how different does that look, you know, just sitting on top? He's too shardy, too thin, so I'm not taking it. So you can see all of this material. Let me pan back out. All that material that, you know, I could fill my pockets and take it, but it's just not really what I'm looking for. You know, again, he was hidden in this the dirt, and that turns out to be better than bad, right? Oop. So I like to slow down and, you know, take my time, take a good look. There's a guy sitting right on the top. Pretty. So that's one of the nice things about hunting the sunstones in the sun, is that they sure do advertise themselves. They'll call out to you, whereas, you know, cloudy day on the beach, it can be hard to find the fossils and things like that. The last 2 times that I've been out to the sunstones, it was cloudy. And so it was much harder to hunt for things. It was just too cloudy. And every now and again you're walking along and you see something like this. Wow. Not very thick, but that's a pretty big sunstone. Something to get excited about. Okay, so I was really hoping to be able to get a shot of this. That is a sunstone in the matrix material, and actually, I probably should have brought my geo pick or rather my regular, just because that might be fun to bang out of there. I just didn't think I was in the mood to do any real hard rock mining today. This is really cool. So here's this piece of basalt sticking up, and you can see a really good crystal right there. of the sunstone coming out. And you can see that that's, I think, here, can you see that that's pretty fractured? And so when that does free itself from the basalt here, it's probably gonna be in a lot of different shaped pieces. I'll say if you are just surface collecting with the sunstones, it goes from hot to cold pretty darn fast. And you're in a hot area and then, you know, you keep on walking and boom, you're not finding. And then you walk a little bit farther and you're seeing stuff again and it's looking pretty good. And it is like difference between a few feet sometimes to hit upon some killer stuff, or just have it all be this like very, very pretty sparkly gravel. Crazy. The sun is setting to the west, and now we have some long light happening, and it really illuminates the sunstones nicely. It's really helpful to have the sun. You can see that's way harder to see. Pan over here and you see all that glittering. So, sunstone tip, walk in the direction of the sun and plan your day of hunting that way so that you're walking in the correct direction, that you're gonna be able to see the sunstones popping, right?
Why come all the way out here for these sunstones? They're pretty, but you can see how remote this country is. It just so happens that Oregon has the only copper-bearing sunstones in the world. All the beautiful colors that they come in, pink, peach, red, orange, blue, green, and even purple, are from the differing valence of the copper. The really clear ones have the nickname plush diamonds, and at one point even Tiffany's had a claim out here.
Here we have some of the basalt that the sunstone comes out of. You can see the shrapnel here of this stone that is breaking apart of the basalt. Nice little boulder. But what's really cool is you can see the actual crystals, my finger, right there. Let's see if we can move in on that. Some crystals. If you are wanting to mine it, how do you get it out without having that happen? All of those little bits. Let's see what we got there. Trying not to get the dogs involved. There's kind of a cool little chunklet right here, so let's see if we can't free that up. A little bit of it just went. Oh, and you probably saw it fall down, but there they are. Nice little specimen straight out of the boulder. Let me see if I can't make sure that's, excuse my fingernails, it's dusty out here. So that's the sunstone coming straight out of the host. Basalt. Basalty, sparkly, and there's your sunstone. See, one of the things that I started realizing as I was moving around the Sunstones is that they definitely, you know, they have their bugs or veins. I'm not entirely sure which. We can do some more research as far as that's concerned. Oh. There he goes. Ah, there goes some more. Yeah, and I just busted that wide open. And there's still some more that go back that way. But boy, if that was precious, like if that was red, cherry, copper bearing stuff, you know, it would be some really surgical work to get it out of that stone. That's mining, not finding. You can hear how crunchy it is. Like crunched like a potato chip. There's some of our sunstone right there. Wonder if it'll, yep. Ah, aha. There. That's all sunstone up in there. Oh, wait. Framing that right? Can you see that? Yeah, and that one too. All right, so we've had our fun looking around in the dirt, and what should happen next is hitting one of the Sunstone mines so that we can get what's good out of the rocks with the help of their conveyor belts and just parse through the beauty. So we'll meet you over there at the Sunstone. Hey, we're at the Sunstone mine, and we are getting ready for the belt run. And you can see the sunstone material all piled up here, and you can hear the machines a-roaring, getting ready for us to do some easy picking. So I'll catch you on the flip. That mighty beast is served a lunch of a big tractor bucket load of virgin sunstone bearing gravel. It goes through a hopper and onto the conveyor belt, assisted by gravity, water, and one of the miners. I was so excited I spaced recording, so we'll skip to the playing with the pretties. So I'm sitting down to do a bunch of the final sorting, both by size, by usability. Say, am I going to carve it? Am I going to facet it? Will it become a cabochon, or is it completely unusable? There are several ways to gauge the value of these stones. This one has copper platelet inclusions that go by the term schiller. Higher up on the value ladder, you have color inclusions. Still the copper, but a whole puddle of the hue, in this case a lovely cherry dot. Yet another step up, how about 2 colors at a time? Here's one with peachy schiller and deep green. The rarest colors are the dichroic, greens, blues, and purples. You really hope you can use the colored stones if you find them. But can you? How can you see if it's good? We mined this from the conveyor belt, but we also got some out of the wall. When I was digging in the wall, I wish I had this on video. We got to see a scorpion. I kind of rattled it out of its home, I think. There's some schiller in here, so these are going to be hopefully facetable or carvable, so some precious stuff that happened in here. But we definitely had our experiences with the bugs, like the scorpion, and we had a camel spider, which is neither a camel or a spider, discuss amongst yourselves, that we had in our tent. So we did at least some work to get this stuff, and I'll show you, as far as this x-ray machine, how this helps us out to further sort so that we can use it. This big stone, by Sunstone standards, had enough surface texture to totally hide the schiller surprise inside.
The wintergreen oil it's in has a refractive index of 1.53 to 1.54, and the Sunstone has a refractive index of 1.52 to 1.54 and possibly more. Why is that cool? Because when immersed in the wintergreen oil with similar indexes, the Sunstone walls seem to disappear to reveal flaws like fractures and also to see color inclusions and the schiller better. This is such a pretty red dot, but will it make a sweet red gem when cut? Those fractures are making a mess around that color, but I think there's a gem in there. What do you think? And this one, really hard to see what's going on, but there's some neat color in there. Check out how it's a light hue, reddish pink at this angle. As you turn it, it turns a different, deeper color. Another angle, hardcore fracture. Is this cuttable? It would be so cool to cut a dichroic from this. And then there's the big greenie. It's pretty rough on the outside, but oh, so rich on the inside. That's pretty intense color. This seems to me to have enough fracturing that it might have to be a carver instead of a facet job. But oh, what a carving it would make. Thanks for coming along on this journey to go find some sunstones, which we did. So if you liked it, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more of this and to see what kind of gems happen to these sunstones in the very near future. And otherwise, check out ozonefineart.com to find out more. And you all know what to do. Keep rocking. We'll see you next time. We're here at the Rabbit Hills in the area near Plush, Oregon. And all right, well, we've done the collecting part and it's been fun to... Okay, dogs, move. Come on. There's another. These guys helping. Good patch.